Hey up Woodlanders, welcome to this week's woodlog. This one is all a little bit random. Over the course of several weeks I've been pottering about up the woodland trying to get some odd jobs done, and you'll see that sort of jumps about between different sorts of jobs, from charcoal to laying slabs to timber storage. Rather frustratingly, while trying to reverse into the gateway, my alternator pulley wobbled off. I think the bearings collapsed, but I think I'm going to have to take this one off when the engine cools down a little bit, get some part numbers and see what's on eBay. That is very disappointing. Managed to get the old alternator off. We have our new exchange alternator costing a grand total of £240, which was a little bit of a shock to the system, and I'll be on bread and jam for the rest of the week. But the next task is get this fitted and try and make some sort of sense of the belt, because the auxiliary belt was all jumped off and I've no idea how it goes back on again. There must be some special tool for this. Of course I haven't got one, have I? So to get the tensioner to adjust, you actually need a 17mm socket, but it has to be such a low profile one. Cut the end of my socket off, which was against my better judgment, and I'm hoping this works. And so it's fixed. Brand new alternator. Managed to get the adjuster nut way down there somewhere sorted. Oh, should be socket. Not enough. Hands are battered, the arms are battered. Ripped to pieces. Hazelnuts, look. Love hazelnuts. I love them to eat, I love them to grow, but unfortunately so does the squirrel. Long before they're ripe, the squirrels even, will have the lot. They do bury the nuts and they grow quite easily up here, and if they're in the way I can replant them, and if not I just protect them, and we'll keep expanding the hazel coppice. So early in June I set about a little experiment with the camera, and I wanted to try and capture the hazel growing, a bit like one of those David Attenborough style programs. I've no idea how it will turn out, but you can probably see the results of the hazel coppice that we did. This side is the hazel coppice, so we're up to about 5 foot in places I can see, and then that is where we cut down the ash, and that was replanted with hazel, and I mulched around the trees. I'm hoping they're okay. I can see quite a bit of ash regrowth, but to be honest that will die off. So let's have a quick look at the footage, and then I'll put it on, stitch all the pictures together and put it on the woodlog. The other day I was testing out a new microphone and it was okay, but what I heard in the background was like a rattle. The other thing that I didn't really like about it was all the wires. Now, me being a man of action, I need an action camera that is true to its word, an action camera. So anyway, it's going back. It was from Amazon, so it can go back. But I'm trying to come up with another solution. So anyway, I've come up with a cunning plan. That means I can use the original cage with a fancy magnetic mount and then stick some furry wind muff stuff to the side, so hopefully stop the wind from howling into the stock mic. Because actually the stock mic's pretty good, but out and about like me, it won't really work. Anyway, we'll crack on. I'll keep waffling. Hey up.
Hi. Hello there.
I've got Ellie Ray with me today. Let me just do a quick.
Hi, I'm working with paper.
I'm working with charcoal. It's the end of July. The summer holidays have started. We've both been ill, haven't we?
Yep. I gave it to you, so you're welcome.
And the weather has been awful.
Yeah, guess what? I found a frog this morning because it was that wet.
Yeah. It's been the coldest, wettest July on record. We have an order.
Which saves the day.
Which is all good, isn't it?
So, our new dog, as you know her, the black cockapoo. She was on the season about last week, was it?
Yep.
So it started on Monday, the proper season. It's like the time of the month, if you will. And then today is Monday again, so it's been a whole week.
It's all very new to us, isn't it, really? Dogs in season. But on the cards today, sort the charcoal out, go and deliver that, get over to Lichfield, try and drop another bag of charcoal off to a guy in Lichfield who may want a bulk order, which would be good for us. Try and find a new window for the caravan, because that is proving rather difficult. And then after that, up to Jeff's to get some slabs, and then drop him some charcoal off, and then after that possibly back up the wood. So a bit of a crazy day. Good morning. I am still feeling just a little bit rough this morning. This cold is lingering, which makes me feel all nasally and I sound a bit bunged up. Anyway, we'll crack on. I think I've got a hair on the lens. There we go. Yesterday we managed to get all our jobs done, even though I didn't document it all because it wasn't particularly exciting. Picking up slabs and dropping off charcoal. And on the job cards today is extraction of a few more bits of logs I've got lying around. I just want to get them all collated together. So that's the first job, and then the second job is to put pallet tines on and bring up all of last week's firewood that I put in the baskets from the bottom end up to the top end, so that in winter I can just grab and go. Good news yesterday, I managed to get a new caravan window. So our inherited caravan off Jeff had a back window problem. We had this nightmare with a guy on eBay, which wasn't great, but I managed to get one from a guy in Lichfield, and he got exactly the size I want, which is so rare, but it's in good nick, it's got all the rams, so I'm going to put that on, and we may even get to do an overnight in the caravan at the Woodland with a little bit of camping in August. It's only just August the 1st. We've got fungi growing everywhere. That just shows how wet and damp and humid it's been. That's where I could do with a bigger trailer now, because this one is ideal for a quad bike, but what the tractor can achieve is far in excess of what this little trailer can do. So I could probably pull 3 times what I've got on that trailer. Although I love the trailer, it's been superb for the last 10 years. I've been Bobby buttoned. Look at him. All in my socks. somewhere in the jungle lies an ash butt I've got to find, and I know its approximate location. I'm just trying to search through the best route to get to it. That's the one. So I've got to tuck into there with a tractor. Somewhere. Yeah, that's it. That's what the wheel went up. Oh, what's that? There's a flame, there's a flame. We're in. So that's 6 of them up. The next 7 are down the bottom end. It's just going to take significantly long to bring them all up. These baskets are so freshly cooked, going up here I go backwards so that the weight is on the front wheels. If I go forwards, it just lifts the front end. I managed to get all my baskets up. It's not pretty, but they're in. And we've also managed to bring up all of our branch logging baskets. That's everything, every single basket down the bottom end is now at the top end, which is quite amazing. And we had to have an executive decision the other day. I got 4 baskets full of brashy stuff that I was using for the charcoal retort to fire it. Only I've got so much of that stuff, we had to just tip them out. So there was some birch brash down the bottom end, and you might see a pile as we drive to and fro. That we just decided to tip it out on the ground, so just honestly not going to use it. And that's the thing with that and branch loggings, you make far more than you can ever use. However, we are exploring something called biochar, so stay tuned for that one next job, to try and get 3 chestnut stems from out of this. Well, there's one, look, and get this one out, which before I had my log trolley on it and I couldn't lift it onto the log trolley, but now I've got the pallet times on. I'm hoping we I can grab it with a ratchet, bosh it on the pallet tines and skid it out. This one I'm going to try and see if I can be clever. Now, it often doesn't work for me, but I've got 2 straps, 2 logs, in the best of intentions. Doing alright so far. I'm going to just twist them, alright. Hey up. Well, yesterday we had to go all of a sudden, and you may have spotted I've picked up my caravan window. I'm just hoping we are, oh yeah, look at that, this is awesome. We are possibly millimetre cup a bit bigger. That is fantastic, happy about that. Now that's impressive. That does mean that we are watertight. That is just fantastic. That is all 4 of those filled, ready. Load one up. This is a project I've been meaning to for absolutely ages. I want to try and get all this timber, plank timber, sort of sorted somehow. I don't really know how. I'm thinking I've got some racking, so I'm thinking all the short pieces I can get on racking. The longer pieces then can go on perhaps stacked up together. But what happens at the moment, because I can't utilise the height of the actual canopy, it means I can get access to my timber better than it currently is. So the next plan is level this. I've got some slabs, we're going to put some slabs down, get those nice and level, and then that means I can get racking in. Like a glove. Well, I think we're getting somewhere. It's took me all day, kind of, in amongst making charcoal and bits and bobs and caravanning and stuff like that. I'm happy about that. But for now, it's home time. I'm desperate for a drink. I know really it's not how you lay slabs, but it's just about getting them down on the ground. I don't want to put them on concrete. If I get to change my mind one day, I can just lift the slabs, move them somewhere else, or they can be moved out of the woodland completely. We are making a little bit of progress now. That all then dry stored, and we've got things like
alder, cherry, oak, I can't remember, ash, holly. We've got cherry, ash, cherry, oak, ash, oak, and more oak, and more ash.
Anyway, we'll get busy, we'll build another rack, and then we'll try and get the last couple of slabs down. You never know, we might get this done pretty much today. Good morning all. I've just got back from Jeff's and got some more slabs ready to finish off this little area here. We're going to whack them down just now and then get all the rest of the timber in. I've got to do a little bit of cross cutting so that I can get the long lengths into short lengths and get them on the racking. And then I think my timber stacking storage section is sort of complete. Had a woodland natter with Jeff. He's doing all right. I'll let you into a secret. He might be getting a timber crane for his woodland, which is just absolutely awesome. I love timber cranes. I'm well happy with that. We've just got a little bit more timber to put on the racking. The Leyland I think I'm going to put down here. It means I can just get to the timber so much easier. Got the charcoal going. So over the last few days while I've been doing this, I've been making charcoal at the same time. It's not a complete loss, so that just ticks away in the background while I'm doing that. Of course, well, I've managed to fill it. I suppose there's a bit of space there for something yet. Surprising how quickly it fills up. And I guess really what it wants is for me to start using up some of the timber. I want to try and get back to doing more craft work, including using some of my timber. Involve it in the videos as well, because I want to do more woodland craft in the videos. Anyway, I can pretty much say that is best part as good as I can get it for now. The next project is to sort out behind the retort is all this softwood poles stuff. I want to oof all that out, decide what's complete junk, and then underneath the container it sits on 2 larch logs because the ground slopes. Only that's been like that for nearly 11 years, and I'm a little bit worried about the larch logs now because, well, initially they were unprotected, so I'm getting smoked out here. Smoking. So it's oof all that out. I'm going to put the container, jack it up, put it on some concrete blocks so that it's not going to disintegrate in the pile of larch dust. I'll shut down the retort and I'm going home. Good morning. What a total stunner. It actually feels like summer today. We've had what can only be described as a pretty miserable July. Just nothing but rain and rain. But today, what a change. It's now August. And it actually feels like August. On the cards today, I think I might have sold that 2-wheeler rotavator. So I've had lots of inquiries, an awful lot of time wasters, and I have a bad feeling about this one. But, well, we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. We just never know. If I sell that, that'd be great, because I can use that cash to get another machine I need for the 2-wheeler that I'm going to keep. And another good news, I had a phone call this morning from the Forestry Commission, or the Forestry England, whatever they call themselves these days. My felling licence application is going through, so he wants to visit tomorrow, but I'm on a first aid course tomorrow, so he's going to have to just help himself tomorrow. But that should be alright. Quite looking forward to getting that sorted as well. It's been on my mind for a while. Charcoal's on the go again, and I'm just delving into this just here. Plan for this is to put some upright slabs across there, get rid of all this timber, and then jack up that corner and that corner, and then you see that big 9-inch block there. That's going to be what the container will sit on, and same for that corner because of the larch logs. bring in nice and close for this one. I don't know how this is going to go, but that's my larch log. It's probably more sound than I think, but well, I can't rely on it anymore, so we're ready for jacking. No idea it's going to go. I suppose I'm a little bit worried about it. I'll just be interested to see if this picks it up enough, because I've got a feeling this might bend, and ordinarily the container weighs about 2 tons. So you think, oh, that's not too bad, lift the back end up, that's 1 ton. But somebody decided to put a turf roof on top, and of course that must weigh about another 6 ton. So I've got to lift the container and quite a bit of topsoil at the top. Yeah, that's what's happening, look. Timber's starting to split apart. We have got lift off. Which is rather scary. I hate letting these things down as well, because they always go all of a sudden. Let's have a quick autopsy of a 10-year-old larch log underneath a shipping container. I've got a feeling the heartwood is probably better than, but that's this. That was on the bottom. It's actually quite solid, although it is rotting. This outer skin is just the sapwood, and then it's surprisingly hard in the centre, but I am glad I've done it. I couldn't really rely on that for much longer, could I? I think we are there now, which I'm glad about. That's one big job done, and I've not lost any arms. Barrels out, new ones in, off we go again, and then next job is that, and I'm hoping that guy will be here for the rotavator in a minute. We've just got back from selling the 2-wheel tractor, and I'm chuffed to bits. I had lots of worries and doubts about all of that transaction, but as it turned out, not a problem at all. He's going to export it to Zimbabwe, and he's hoping to try and improve their little rural economies. A lot of their cattle have died, and they've got no means to pull a plough, so they need to turn the soil over to grow food, and they're really struggling. So he just wants to buy a few small machineries, take them over into on a shipping container, and anyway, he's happy, I'm happy. Charcoal looks like it could be gassing anytime soon, which is another good news. And I'm still working away on this jobby, so I was started to put some slabs in just across there, and I've dug a trench. We'll put the rest of them in and see where the rest of the day takes us. That's pretty much back together again. Just got to move those round poles there over to there. I used to store them in this area, but I thought, well, the round poles, most of them are tannalised. Thanks for watching. If you're able to, try and support your local charcoal maker. It makes all the difference. See you in the next one.